So hi everyone. Welcome. This is Raj, my friend Raj. He's awesome, an illustrator, artist, and color queen, really.
I don't know. I appreciate that title, but yeah, I like color. I don't know if
Just
I'm
roll
queen
with
of
it.
color.
So we actually had a chat quite a while back, and then we realized that it was around the time of summertime that we were going to be both available to have a chat live, and we wanted to celebrate color. And you had the idea of um a a book cover, which is
Yes.
India Nights book cover.
So show us that.
Can y'all see? Yay! So this is a book by India Night, which is coming out in October, and I'll flip the camera around in a minute. But we both loved the colours, and the art is actually by a lady called Anga Himas, I think her name is Hymas, and yeah, we just loved the colours. I'll flip you around in a minute to have a look at that. But basically, we were thinking, let's get together, let's swatch some really summery colours, and let's do some drawing together. So you
Yeah.
have a few colours selected and a few bits and bobs selected to do some still life.
Yeah.
I've sent a couple of images to my subscribers, my paying subscribers in the club chat, but I can show you just here. This is a lemon cut up, smells amazing, very summery, and an orange cut up. And
Beautiful.
I bought these little China guys in a charity shop. No, it was an antique shop in Hebden Bridge. And I thought immediately when I picked them up, I thought that would look so amazing with some beautiful fruit,
Yeah.
especially
Similarly.
oranges and lemons.
So I love this idea of a summer solstice still life celebration.
Yeah.
So we can do the color thing, we can do the food thing. So I have some watermelon slices in this
And you've got
bowl.
the navy around the bowl.
Yeah.
Is that from Spain or where is that from?
My husband bought this for me years ago. It's originally made in Mexico, but he bought it in Florida when he was there.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's a nice little meaningful bowl with some watermelon. But also next to that, I've got this teeny little fish
Oh,
bowl.
I love that. We've got the big one. It's great.
Yeah.
I love the color.
It's amazing. The teeny little fish one, which is my son's, and I've picked some lavender, which my son planted last year from our garden. So I thought, well, this is a little shrine to summer solstice.
Yeah.
And just for fun, a dinosaur and a car.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We'll
Keeping
see
it
if they
real.
make a poop.
I'm just going to turn people around so that I can have a look at some of the inspiration that I've got here. Let's see.
This is the elegant part.
Right. So some of the inspiration that I have on my table, I said I've got the lemon. This is so cute because it's actually got the similar colors. It's a lemon colored candle and a candle holder, which I love. And I've got some sweet peas from the garden. I actually cut a little bit of the geranium as well, which,
Oh, wow.
very controversial. And a peony and some jasmine. So it smells amazing. I've got a nectarine. It's my favorite fruit. And I've got a closed orange, so like a full orange and more lemons. So I can really play with these things. And this is the book cover that we were talking about. I don't know if everyone can see here. Again, I sent this in my club chat, the Time Forgers club chat. And so this is, I think you and we both thought really that this just cries out summer vibes, doesn't it?
Yes.
With the yellow in the background and the red and the check here. And then this is like a little ode to China wear as well. Nearly like a Thai plate, Thai food kind of plate.
Yeah.
and maybe some nectarines or oranges. We're not too sure, but the whole idea is, you've got your watermelon, the stripes, which is very nautical. We love it, love it, love it. And I put a little color swatch together, which I felt, in fact, it's really funny because I'll put this down. These ones here, they were my current colors, and I added these ones this morning just on the side to create this book's color swatch. So yeah, this is
Love
actually
it.
quite close to my current colors. This is a pink flamingo and the opera, pink opera, and various others here. Yeah, so love, love, love this color combination. So I wanted to just share really quick some books. So maybe three books that I love in the summertime. So you were keeping it real with the dinosaurs, making it,
Yeah.
because of our kids. This one here by Oliver Jeffers, The Day the Crayon Came Home. This is really cool, and it has all the kind of 80s, 90s vibe if you are like us from the 80s.
Yeah.
Growing up in the 80s, and it had so this book here has such a cool vibe, and I think I'm right in thinking that he recreated all of these postcards from scratch to make them look really old. And but what I loved especially was this page here with the neon red, which is very summery with the pool in the background. Love it. Highly recommend this book. It's very summery. Something else that's really summery is this book here, and it's Matt de la Pena, and it's the illustrator is Christian Robertson. But look at this. Isn't this just gorgeous? So this is definitely like decoupage and collage with these different colors, and it's just, again, crying out summer vibes with the
Gorgeous.
contrast between the orange and the blue. Love that. And then you can't really think of summertime without referring to our very used Eric Carle's Very Hungry Caterpillar, which is an absolute favorite of ours. Look at all these colors.
Amazing. Amazing.
And this, when the sun comes out, it comes out, the caterpillar looks for food, and look at this. I mean, so many summers we've read this to our kids, and it's not just in the summer, of course, but I mean, isn't this just like adorable?
It's adorable.
So vibrant. And this lovely picnic ideas.
Beautiful.
I mean, look at this cherry pie, which is ripped because we've used it so much in our family. But look at that. Look at these colors.
They're amazing.
Eric Carle, what a genius. Yeah. So with that in mind, these are really the colors that I associate with summertime. What about you, Raj?
Well, I've actually picked up my Japanese Gansai spring palette, and I bought this. I had this gifted to me a couple of years ago, and I've just really come back to it time and time again.
Oh,
When I look at that, that just takes me through most of the year, if I'm honest, because this
yeah.
area feels quite autumnal when you mix some of these together. But this gorgeous bright pink, this
Oh,
amazing green, and then you've got this really gorgeous vibrant blue. I'm actually going to start with this palette as my um my inspiration for this setup. So there is some correlation with the objects that I've got. So for me, it's this kind of really vibrant yellow and a zingy green that is
yeah.
sitting next to this bright orange, and going for it with blue. It's funny. It's kind of almost like I lean more towards the primaries. So the yellows,
Yes.
the blues, and the reds, they really become like the thing that I'm really drawn to.
Well, I would say the same actually. If there was a summer, summer colors, I think it would be that. It would be primary colors, and then potentially, in the autumn, it becomes a little bit more nostalgic and muted,
Yes.
and then in the winter, you're, uh, I don't know, like what would you call winter colors?
Oh,
Really,
well,
just like
actually,
very simple, like darker greens, and keeping everything very kind of
yeah.
neutral.
I one thing I find with winter is that it's surprisingly got some accents going on. So you might
Yes.
have an overriding palette of, tonal colors that might be quite kind of earthy or even a little bit kind of gray. But then when you look closely, there's a vibrant winter berry in the middle of it, or there's a
Oh
really
yeah.
strong,
Oh yes, winter
so
berries.
it's almost like summertime, you've got this riot of vibrancy,
Yeah,
but then you've got to ground it with something a bit darker. But in winter, you've got this sort of amazing range of tones with some accents that just pop out, you know?
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Oh,
So, yeah, I think
yeah.
one thing I really like about observing the way that color palettes can change throughout the year is not just the colors themselves, but the proportion of the palette. So, like the idea that you have overriding vibrance at one time of the year, and then the vibrance become an accent at the other time of the year, and then the
Mm,
muted takes over. So it's almost like rather than thinking about the specific colors, you think about the the temperature scale of what becomes
yes.
dominant and what
Yeah.
becomes, yeah. So that's something which I find
Yeah.
really fascinating.
It is fascinating. Absolutely. And what if you were to pick four summer colors, what would they be? Sorry,
Yellow.
that's maybe yellow.
Yellow for sure.
Yeah.
I love yellow. I love to wear yellow. I love yellow around me. But also surprisingly, I noticed quite a lot of lavender. So I've become really
Oh.
interested in sort of purpley lavender, periwinkle kind of tones. That maybe they're a little bit more spring, but
Mm.
I do find that that's a color I've been noticing a bit more. And yeah, so there's that, and then of course anything neon. So this amazing hot
Yeah.
neon color from the Gansai palettes that crops up in a few places. And if you can see that, it's called Rumi Opera. It's number
Yes.
73.
Because I was telling you about my pink opera that
Yes.
I absolutely love. I'm completely in love with it. And that's it here.
Oh
But also,
yes.
the flamingo, I was telling you about this as well, the Derwent Inktense flamingo. This is like wow. Because it's Inktense, you can add water. In fact, I might right, shall I go in with it here to show everyone?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
not
do it.
getting paid by Derwent. I just here we go.
We're here for the materials for sure.
Look at this. Right. So this is so hot already. It's like a deep, deep pink. That's so hot. Now let's put some water in that and you'll see what I'm talking about. Look at this. Oh my
Oh
goodness.
wow.
Isn't that just oh my
Amazing.
goodness.
I love that.
It's like I actually, you know what, Raj? It
Yeah.
reminds me of a watermelon.
Yes.
It look isn't that like a
That's
watermelon?
very
You've got the
watermelon.
watermelon in front of you just now. Like,
Yeah.
isn't that similar?
Very watermelon.
Hello, summertime. Look at that. All right.
Amazing. Yeah, and full disclosure with this, I don't consider myself a painter at all. I don't feel confident in the medium. I don't really put much work out there that demonstrates anything I've painted, but I love it it's my play zone. So it's
Mm.
really, I love just the feeling of smushing color around, and I love the opportunity to just be quite childlike with it. So yeah, when my website's launched, it probably won't have any paintings on there, but the paintings are my private kind of
Oh.
exploration zone. Do you know what I mean?
So, Raj, tell us about your website. I want to hear everything.
So I have been working on figuring out what my website is going to be about for a long time. And as a way of helping me to focus, one of the things I've consciously done is just be off Instagram for most of this year so
Mm.
far.
Okay.
Um, because I know that I'm one of these people that gets very distracted and isn't able to get something finished unless I simplify my, you know, influences. So that's been really, really, really great. And I've been working on putting together some of my favorite sketchbook pieces and figuring out how I want to showcase that. So you get an idea of, I guess, you get an idea of what it is that I want to be seen and known for in terms of work.
Mhm.
And I'm kind of interested in just, the process of making those decisions when you start to put together a website. It's really quite big because if you're like me, you like to explore all sorts of things in your work. But when it
Oh,
comes to the
so
thing of
tricky.
like, oh, what do I actually want people to
Yeah.
recognize me for? It's a
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
other ball game, isn't it, really? I think. So yeah, I've been looking at picking out some of my favorite sketchbook pieces. I've been looking at some of my animal work, which has become quite you know a place that I've been really loving exploring. And so there'll be some exciting announcements around that soon, hopefully.
Ooh.
And figurative work. So I haven't really talked much about my love for life drawing, but that's something that I really want to bring back maybe later this year. And so I'm hoping that I'll have a whole space on there where I can get back to talking about my figurative work a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm always in my personal practice, I'm always trying to find that balance between playing, exploring, and making discoveries, but also trying to bring some focus to what I call project state of mind. So thinking about
Mm.
I actually need to, or I actually want to work on an idea, see it through to fruition, look at different, uh, permutations of that idea, and kind of end up with a project. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Which is something that I've been doing with my community on my Substack. So yeah, it's I think that, a creative practice is constantly this interplay between giving yourself the space to just have a little bit of fun, play, versus bringing some focus to what you're doing so you can get something finished. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So that's been something
Um,
I've really been thinking a lot about this year and trying to bring a lot of attention to.
that's so great. And when do you think your website's going to be visible for everyone to see?
Oh, I'm hoping by the end of this month, maybe even in a
Oh,
week or
wow.
so. Yeah, so I've been going hard on it, which has been really fun. Really,
Oh,
really
what a
fun.
great achievement, Raj.
Thank you. Well,
You
you've
should
been
have a
very
party when you
inspiring with
actually
that.
do launch it. Sorry.
I will. I will. I mean, and I have to thank you for your motivation as well because we had a conversation about it and you were encouraging me to get it done for this weekend. Like, let's get
Oh,
it done. We can talk about it. It's like, okay, that's great. And then
oh.
I realized, oh, I might need a little bit more time.
Do you know, I think with a lot of things, especially creative things, the most important aspect a lot of the time is just getting started.
Yeah.
And very often we have barriers in our heads. And as you say, playfulness is so important. And if you can have a deadline, that helps sometimes to just enjoy the process of, getting facts together. And as you say, like going through sketchbooks and seeing what did I actually enjoy painting and
Yeah.
yeah, because the thing is, as you say, like you don't want to put yourself out there and get jobs that you don't actually want to get.
Yeah.
You want to be careful because then you're wasting a lot of time if you're taking on something that you're not going to be super passionate about.
Yeah, and there's
Um,
also some things that have appeared in my work, and I've thought, "Oh, that is that a one-hit wonder? Am I gonna be able to recreate that?" You know? Like, I don't know if you have that feeling sometimes when you make a discovery on something and you've, yeah, you've really enjoyed finding out something new about the way that a particular material works, or, you've done some combination of things that was just gave you this amazing result, and then you try and do it again, and it just doesn't happen.
oh
So
yeah. What do you think that's due to though? Do you think that's because I wonder do you have an example?
well, I think it's due to I find where it happens is when I'm doing live drawing sessions with other people or
Ah,
attending live drawing sessions. I'm in this headspace of just really not worrying about where it's going to be seen. I don't worry about who it's for. I'm just sitting there having fun and playing around. That's my whole kind of uh,
yeah.
thing about that's my whole thing about the value and the importance and the beauty of joining people's live drawing sessions is that it's really your space to play,
Hmm.
and not to think about a portfolio and not to worry about, you know, a commission. But when I make discoveries in those places, because I'm not thinking about where it's going to end up, things do come out of it, which really are quite nice. And then I think, oh, well, maybe I can take that discovery into something else. But because I'm feeling like I have to produce, or I'm feeling like I need to somehow find that magic again, it adds a layer of pressure sometimes. So it's not always possible that that can just be conjured up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I wonder if, for example, when these things happen, if you take a little bit of time just to note down like your process,
Yeah.
when you do notice something being like super magical, just writing it down so that you're actually becoming a bit of a scientist and observing. The have you seen the TV show The Bear?
Yes.
So the way they're like trying, especially, I can't remember. It's been ages since I've seen it. But there's one of the characters who's really into patisserie.
Yes.
And he's just
Marcus.
like, that's it, Marcus. And he goes to Copenhagen and all of these things, and he does all this research. And there's a discussion towards the end about productivity. They have a guy come in, or maybe it's a lady, I can't remember, to talk about productivity, and there's a question mark about Marcus because he's spending all this time trying to get the perfect recipe, and he's doing all this nearly like a scientist, like all of
Mm,
this research and playing and experimenting. And when I saw this, I was like, "Oh, that's exactly like us, as
yes.
artists. We need to like just play but also, just keep our thinking hats on." And it's quite tricky to develop that skill, isn't it? To
Yeah. Yeah.
to have
I,
that kind of sense of observation of just thinking, well, what worked there, what didn't work there. Like even just
yes.
right now, what I'm noticing here, so there's something going on here where this was the flamingo, and this is a sort of a mix between the opera and I think this is a red. Let's see, what was that? Um, it's actually rose madder hue here
Ooh.
and uh, opera rose. So it's a bit of a mix of those two. And what I'm seeing, just having put this down, is this. Does this remind you of anything? And maybe
Uh,
not. But
I don't
if
know.
if if people were from my club, they would probably know already. But I think because of the color combination, it reminds me of Matisse.
Ah, yes.
Because of sometimes he has like two different colors going on in the background.
Yeah.
If you look at his portraits, sometimes you can see it clear. But yeah, I mean, not to say that I'm like Matisse, but
You are
sometimes
fully
well,
entitled to
coming,
compare
but
yourself
coming,
to a master.
but coming back to like what we were saying is like sometimes you can do something and then you're like, oh, I love that. Why do I love
Yes.
it? What is it that I love? And even just saying it out loud, you can take note of it, and
Yes.
that's how you learn. I think that's
I
how you
think
develop.
that's really,
Um,
really key. That's a really good observation, because this idea of being almost analytical and scientific, once you've kind of once you allow yourself that, like, don't think about it too much and just have a play,
exactly. Yeah.
then in that space discoveries are made, right? And then when you make the discovery, you stand back and say, oh, okay, what did I learn? Where's the analysis? I think it's just an awareness of, you've got to let yourself shift into those different headspaces.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a color that I could do the contours of the lemon with that's not going to be too brutal, but I'm thinking maybe this very dark navy.
Or maybe there's a little a green, like a muted
I'm not sure
green.
about green because
No?
there's a bit of this yellow and blue that's merged and it has become green and I'm not loving it.
Okay.
Um right. I'm just going to go in with this dark blue. We'll see how it goes. What do you have planned for the rest of the day, Raj?
Well, we are gonna. There's a really beautiful cloister, like a what's it called? Like a monastery. There's a lot of monasteries here in Bavaria because it's obviously quite a religious part of Germany, and they tend to have amazing breweries attached to them. But they also have amazing play areas for kids and water
Oh,
parks so we're going to go to this gorgeous beer garden in this cluster so the kids can just enjoy being outdoors, run around, and we're going to eat well and
yes.
yeah, have a bit of a celebration with friends. And I
Oh,
think I'm going to work
nice.
I'm going to work on continuing with this because I'm really enjoying just figuring out how to bring in the dinosaur. That's going
Yeah.
to be, but I might just let this let a layer dry, and then I might just play around with some acrylic gouache on top or something. Um, because I
Oh,
have my little model
yes.
dinosaur. And I like the idea of a green dinosaur trying to eat out of the bowl.
I love that.
And then perhaps I will just kind of figure out a way to put this little toy car in as well, because I'm really interested in just being quite kind of odd with the placement of things and being a bit contrasty.
Yes.
Putting things together that feel like they shouldn't be together, I think is a really interesting thing to play with in a
Oh,
sketchbook.
definitely. Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna add some check because I really love the way this looks here. The red on
Oh,
top
yes,
of the opera. I think that was an opera pink. I can't remember. I'm just gonna check the comments, Raj.
yes,
If I'm kind of going silent, it's because I'm not multitasking very well.
no problem.
Um,
And then you can tell us what your plans are for Solstice for the rest of the day. And actually, if anyone else wants to share in the comments what
yes.
they're doing for Solstice, if you're celebrating, how's summer going, that'll be
And
fun.
also, if you can think of four colors that you love that you associate with summertime, sorry. Right. I'm just seeing people are saying hello, say where you are as well. If anybody's in the southern hemisphere, hello, hello. We're thinking of you as well as you enter winter. Oh, it's funny. There's actually somebody here that's called the bear. Hi, the bear. Emma Carpendale. Good morning, ladies. Hello, Emma. I wonder if she's still here. It's mouth watering. I think that's the watermelon she's talking about. Your gorgeous watermelon. She's saying it's exciting. I think that's referring to the website.
Oh, yes,
Um, Ocean is saying, can't wait to see the website, Raj. I've been meaning to completely update mine for about a year. It's my
such a
summer
big job.
project. Oh, lovely. What a great project.
Yeah.
I'm finding, I don't know about everybody else, but I kind of put things off during the spring. I've got lots of energy in the spring. And then I'm like, oh, you know what? I can do that decluttering or I can do that
Yes,
project in the summertime. But actually, very often when the summer comes, I'm like, it's too hot. I
it's
can't be
too hot.
bothered.
Yeah,
Um,
I hear you.
right. There's nothing else. But yeah, if you guys want to say where you are in the world and how you're going to celebrate this day, let us know. But yeah, I'm well, talking about projects. I've been putting off so I've got a chest of drawers that is at the top of the stairs here on the landing, and it's just not a good place to have it because it's just accumulating lots of just kind of not junk, but just like, if people go past, they just put it on it and put anything on it.
Yeah.
There's no order whatsoever, and I'm getting a bit tired of it. So I think we're just going to get rid of it and maybe give it to someone or sell it. And it's yeah, it's not very deep, so it can't actually take much anyway. So it's a bit pointless to have it there. And this is the kind of thing that I've been putting off. But also, I have some pigments that I brought back from Italy, from an ancient Roman villa.
Oh,
From so I picked it up. Of course, I asked for official permission, and they said that's fine because it was like a little kind of broken bits. And I want to turn that into watercolors today.
how do you go about doing that?
So well, it's a good question. I've been to quite a few workshops and I've read up on it quite a lot to, to learn how to do it. But it's a whole methodology. And then,
Wow.
for oil paints, it's slightly different. And yeah, but you need a muller, you need a pestle and mortar, you need a sieve, and, a few other things. But yeah, it's one of the things that I'll be uh, not teaching, but I'll be introducing people to the idea when we're at the retreat in Italy. So I'm looking forward to that. At the minute, one of the other things I need to do is to get the materials sent to where the retreat is. So that's going to be some pith sketchbooks. Everybody's getting a Lumia,
Nice.
and
What a
I
treat.
need to organize the pestle and mortar and the muller and all of these things, because it'll be so much easier if they have it just there rather than me, bringing it with me.
Yeah.
But
So
um,
when is the retreat now? It must be soon, right?
well, it's kind of coming up. It's creeping up on us. It's September,
Yeah.
so it's not, it's not a million miles away. So this summer, I'm actually pausing my subscriptions, uh, and taking a whole month off. So if anybody is already a subscriber, don't leave. I'm going to be probably increasing my prices after the summer, but there'll be 1 month entirely available for people to watch archives. So
And
that's
your
happening.
archives are incredible. I
Oh,
mean,
thanks.
there's so much in there to just yeah. I mean, what a time to enjoy an archive.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, so that's happening in the summer, and then so then just after the holidays, really, I'm off to Italy. So that's why I'm quite keen to get myself organized now, and it's and then also because I'm going to be teaching quite a lot during the retreat. It's like a lot of workshops.
Mm.
I am quite keen to just get some of my uh ideas down on the whole, like, teaching
Yeah.
plan, because I'm a teacher, and I like to be organized.
Yeah. A
I
lot
think
of
it's quite healthy to do these things, before going away on holidays, so that you're not panicking, and you're not, you don't have at the back of your mind thinking, oh, I should really do this.
yeah.
I want to have a good rest. We're going to France. I'm going to be doing more still life there, more
Oh
like
gosh,
kind
you've
of
got so much lined
coastal.
up. How
I
exciting.
know. What are you up to, Raj, this summer? Are you
Well, we
staying
haven't really
local?
got any big trips planned this year. Um, yeah, so we might have some people visiting us. So it
Oh,
might be that we have
lovely.
a staycation, which is really nice actually, because where we live, we're so close to so much natural beauty that in a way it's more like as long as we kind of plan ourselves so that we don't get caught up in our usual domestic kind of stuff, that we really try and say, okay, we've got the bags ready to go so that if at a moment's notice we want to go to a lake and do a bit of um uh, you know boarding, what's it called when you're on that big board thing on the lake,
Oh, what is
gosh,
the word?
what's that word? And you know what I mean, when you want to
Uh,
when you just want to be ready to just go and enjoy a summer's day, because
yeah.
it is quite, so we're trying to sort of prepare ourselves for a staycation where at a moment's notice we could go and drive to a lake and have everything ready to go, or at a
Oh,
moment's notice
perfect.
we can decide to go into the mountains and have a hike day, because all of that's driving distance, all of it's
Oh, wow.
around the corner. So in a way, we said that we'll maybe even this year we'll try camping for the first time with our boy's 4 years old, and I'm not really a camper. I mean, I'm from London, I don't really know what this camping lark is all about. And I like sleeping indoors, and, you know, I'm a comfort girl, but, I need to get out of my comfort zone and just try new things. And so we
Well,
might
I'll
do
tell
that.
you, Raj, last summer we went down to Cornwall, which was absolutely stunning for
Yeah.
sure. But I did end up with this weird thing going on in my hands and feet. They were very swollen. I still don't really know exactly what that was. And then I ended up with cold sores, mainly, on my face, but mainly because I was so stressed out and wasn't sleeping well.
Yeah.
But I think it can go really well if you're
It
prepared.
can. It can.
So I think our problem really was that we were in a camper van with an awning, and there was 5 of us.
Right.
So it was just too small, and you know, just too small.
Yeah. I mean, the last time I was camping, there was a lot of whiskey involved. I was in my mid-30s, I was single, and there was a music festival outside the tent. So it was really, really a different vibe. This will be about, enjoying something with our boy, and
I think the
it'll be
context is
fun.
definitely key.
Yeah.
If you've got a beautiful place to go to, then I think that, and if you know that people are safe, then that's
Yes.
also a big a big bonus, really.
And I want to be the woman that goes, I want to be that girl. I want to be the girl that camps. So,
Oh,
if there's, I want to be
yes,
there. I want to do that thing. It looks amazing when you see it in people's pictures. As long as I can have a shower, I'll be fine.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And maybe stargazing.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. All of that good stuff.
Stargazing.
So yeah, I think I'm going to just map out some of these objects, and I need to let things dry. One thing I will say about the Japanese Gansai, which I'm always impressed about, is that for I know it's a watercolor gouache hybrid, and what I love about that is it does actually layer quite well. I mean,
Oh,
you let things dry, but it does do a good job of like color on top of color,
that's so lovely.
um, which I think kind of then means you don't have to worry so much about
Yeah, the first step.
acrylic, because you can just. I always find acrylic a little bit stressful because of it, paint being wasted and
Yeah,
things drying on the palette and stuff. But
that is so true. So true.
yeah,
And also, like, where does the acrylic go afterwards, in terms of like the plastic that's in it, going
yeah,
down the drain. I saw a statistic recently about uh, the amount of plastic that's in the fish, in the
yeah,
ocean, in
yeah,
their tummies, and oh,
yeah,
if you call it a tummy, what is it called for a fish? Does anybody know?
mm,
Inside of them,
yeah. The
it's just
digestion, yeah,
not pleasant.
yeah. So yeah,
I want
I'm
to
I'm
show. Hang on, Raj. Look
going
at this. Can you see? Can you see that?
not so well.
It's like a neon pink thing that's happening back here. It's the opera, the pink opera that is
Oh,
becoming fluorescent here. I'll try taking a
oh.
picture of it and sending it. Let's see.
How did it? Did you use much of your bright pinks and your fluorescents in your collection that you recently found?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got this. I've done this one since then, and that's kind of reflective, I guess, of the
Oh,
colors. Maybe this is a bit more summery than the spring ones, but yeah, I think there was quite a lot of. I was already getting into this phase of pink background, and yeah, for sure.
yeah.
And then this Derwent flamingo. I only got this. I bought this beginning of May, so this is my little, I don't know, treat to myself, really.
I'm gonna have to get that. It looks
Yeah, I
like
think a few people have said that. Right, I'm
mm,
going to sign this down here. Uh,
beautiful, Helen.
and you too, Raj. Look at what you've done. I
Well, I've managed
love
to make a
it.
start. I've got a lot more to do, I think. I'm gonna just let some paint dry. I'm happy with where this is beginning, but yeah, I'm gonna keep going, and I'll share with you where I end up.
Oh, please do. And your dinosaur, what's the plan? Are you going to add it
I
on
don't know
front of
if
the
I've made
vase, or?
space, but I might figure out, like, once everything is dry, I might just put him on top in some weird way. I might move the car up the side. Yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna I'm gonna just have a bit of fun with this, and maybe
Oh,
put some
love
summer
it.
type in here or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or you could try the decoupage thing, like Eric Carle and
Yes.
Chris. It was Christian Robinson. So this kind of thing where he's got the colors and he's gluing them together, and you could put a little dinosaur in front of your vase.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll do that. That's a great suggestion.
And then this, I mean, you could try different colors, but
Yeah. I mean,
this.
I also have this scribbly inky test page.
Oh, but that's perfect.
Yeah, I could use some of that, and sort of cut out some textures for the dino, and
And then
yeah.
the dino has some blue going on, some like
Yep.
nice summery turquoise going on
Yep.
there.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Well,
that might be.
let us know. Share what you've got with
I
us. I'd
will.
love to know.
I will.
All right, I think we're gonna head now.
I think so. I'll just quickly turn around and say goodbye to
Oh yeah,
everyone.
yeah, yeah. Good idea. Let's do that.
Wow, we had a good turn up this morning, Saturday
I'm
morning.
so glad that my phone actually didn't like blow up like last time.
Yeah.
You know,
Thanks.
it was like I don't know, too hot, and it just didn't work right. There's Emma Carpendale saying, "I'm with you on that, Raj. I love the outdoors, but also like my comfy bed." Amen.
Camping. We'll get
Uh,
there.
Linda saying, "Hello from the Netherlands. I'm not used to celebrating summer solstice, but I like the idea. We will have a hot day here, so I'll probably stay. Oh, it's a hot day here, so I'll probably stay inside. But it's really nice to start the day drawing with you. Oh, look, thanks for
Mm.
joining,
Thanks,
Linda.
Linda. And
Oh,
hello from Seattle,
oh yeah,
Stephanie.
go ahead, read it.
Yeah, hello from Seattle, Washington, US. What time is it there right now? I mean, it must be.
It must be an early riser because that's early for them, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or maybe late. Maybe late. Maybe they're staying up to see us in our morning. Emma saying, I have a busy day today and I'll be watching this gorgeous video later, sitting with a glass of something fizzy in the garden. Yes. Well, listen, I have this glass with me, but
Oh,
it's actually water.
beautiful.
It's actually just water, but I just love drinking out of a glass like
Oh,
this, on a morning like this.
the vessel
Also,
matters.
from a technical point of view, it's easier for me to have a glass like this on my desk to remind me that this is the drinking water,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
neat water. Yeah, because that's happened before when it's just you're not too sure.
Yeah. Stephanie says it's 1:45 a.m. staying up late. Wow.
Oh,
Oh, well, thank you for having us
well,
as your
cheers.
company.
Cheers to America.
Yeah.
We're staying up late. Americans. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us wherever you are, and have a lovely day.
Have a lovely day. Thank you so much
Thanks,
for inviting me
thanks.
on, Helen.
We look forward to seeing your website in the next coming weeks.
Excited to share.
Have a wonderful summertime in Bavaria, in the
Thank
lakes,
you.
the camping.
The camping dreams.
Make sure you illustrate as you go along.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll enjoy seeing that.
Thank you.
All right.
So,
See you, Rich.
bye, everyone.
Bye.